trip on the southwest coast of India has created quite a stir in the tourism industry. So what is it that brings people to Kerala? Simple. Kerala put the welcome mat out for the world over 3,000 years ago, and it hasn't looked back. With no pretenses, it lets you share in its natural beauty and abundance. From cruising the backwaters or basking in the sun or submitting to Ayurvedic massage, there's something for everyone. Like an ever-replenishing basket of fruit, the more Kerala shares, the more fuller it looks. So I've come to take a leaf out of the book named God's Own Country. Although Kerala is thousands of years old, Alleppey or Arappuzha is fairly young. It was founded in 1762 by the Diwan of Travancore. At that stage, it boasted of only a single canal that separated the backwaters and the sea. However, this soon developed into a busy waterway, and by the mid-1800s, Alleppey became a bustling market town. Today, Alleppey is a quaint little town. There's really not much happening here, but it's still a thriving tourist spot, thanks to the sun, the sand and the sea. Alleppey is also famous for the backwater experience, with the canals and lakes providing mesmerizing views. Shadowed by palm trees and lined with modest dwellings, it's so easy to immerse yourself in its beauty. I've taken an interest in Alleppey for one main reason: the preservation of old properties. Whether it's born out of a necessity to survive or the potential seen by a fresh set of eyes, these properties would not be here had it not been for the vision for some very enterprising individuals. Like these houseboats, which bring in loads of tourists. These once out-of-business transporters are now much sought-after luxuries. And of course, there are the heritage hotels. To me, heritage hotels are a way of managing the past and representing the present. A typical old-fashioned Kerala home is converted into a modern-day hotel with all the conveniences for a comfortable stay. And it's one such transformation that has brought me to the Raheem Residency. Located on the serene beach road, this colonial property turned heritage hotel is a great find. Raheem Residency was regarded by the Lonely Planet in 2006 as the only top-end place in Alleppey worth considering. Originally built by an Englishman and later home to an eminent Alleppey family, the Raheems for 100 years, the Raheem Residency you see today is not the product of a big hotel chain. It was passionately restored in 2003 by a small Indo-European company run by Bibi and Fleming. This unlikely Irish and Indian duo have invested not just time and money, but also their heart and soul into this boutique hotel. As is the highlight with heritage hotels, I appreciate the relationship between the ancient and the contemporary. It's quite easy to go overboard in reconciling the two eras. But at Raheem Residency, it's a perfect balance. All 10 ensuite bedrooms in this boutique hotel are a delight. I personally have a weakness for wood, and so to be surrounded by the warm timbers in such classic style is a treat. With Ravi Verma paintings gracing the walls and antique knickknacks sprinkled across the room, it makes me feel quite stately.
This is Raheem Residency, formerly known as Raheem Bungalow, and a very famous landmark in our town of Alleppey. In fact, in earlier days, Gandhiji and Nehru are believed to have visited here. Now, if you were a guest coming to Raheem Residency, we wouldn't actually bring you in through this gate that I've just come through. This is the main gate of the place, but we do have another entrance further over. And we decided to use that other entrance as the main one for a very simple reason. When you come through here, suddenly you're in the main hall, and you as a guest have no time to think, what is this place really like? But when you come in the other way, there's a nice little bit of a walk, and you can look around and breathe in the whole atmosphere. So that's why we do it that way. However, the main hall where I'm now standing, we've really done very little to it indeed. We think it's just probably as it was when this beautiful building was built in 1868. Okay, so we smoothed the walls a little bit, but when you look at those lovely coloured fan lights over the doors, the wooden doors, the shutters, wooden and glass, and a lovely little piece of artwork over this door over here, that's all original. And all we did was just beautify it a little bit more. Now, the furniture, well, my favourite piece of furniture is my own chair, which I brought from my home in the West. It's the goddess Saraswati, and she's right beside the bookstand looking after the books, of course. Now, the bookstand itself is interesting too, because it's actually an old door frame from a very big house in Kerala from many years ago. And right beside it, we have a little writing desk, which is the perfect height if you sit on the floor. And then over here, there's the dowry box where the bride-to-be will keep all her lovely silk saris and even that tiny little drawer for her gold bangles. Now, in this main room here, there are 6 bedrooms just going off it. And when we opened up 4 years ago, we had to think, what will we call the bedrooms? Will we call them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Or because we're across the road from a beautiful beach, it's so clean and wonderful, we could have called them, I suppose, you know, seashore and seashell and this sort of thing. Well, we were very energetic then, and we didn't. In order to reflect the multiculturalism that is India, we decided to call them by various names from various Indian languages. And because this was essentially Mr. Raheem's family's home for over 100 years, we wanted to keep the notion of family going. There was one particular room that we had to dedicate to a very special man, and that's Mr. Raheem. Needless to say, this is the honeymoon room. Come with me and have a look. Now, this is Mr. Raheem's father's bed. In fact, it's the dad's wedding bed from 1938. And I'm sorry about this, Mr. Raheem, but I'm not sure if I really love this bed or not. Some guests think it's wonderful. And I must say, I do like these love hearts, which is why we've made this room the honeymoon room. But when it comes to this small picture of the Taj Mahal at your feet, and also at your head, I'm just not so sure. But I tell you one great thing about this bed. And because it's so high, it's great in a tropical climate because the air can circulate underneath the bed all night long and you're guaranteed a great sleep. Now here on the back veranda, we're actually in what was originally Mr. and Mrs. Raheem's kitchen. It was a very simple little kitchen indeed. Here where now we have this beautiful arch, there was a window. It was quite boarded up though, as I recall. And right behind me there was a door which I think was maybe made from plywood. So very simple indeed. Now the thing is that our architect decided that it should be opened up so that the guests can sit here and enjoy the nice sunshine and the fresh air. So you know what, if you come here, you could end up sitting in the kitchen. This is the Begum's Nook, and it's actually the biggest room in Raheem Residency. So the reason why we came up with this name, the Begum's Nook, is first of all because it's located in its own little courtyard, its own little nook. And the Begum part, well, we figured that if a Muslim family were living here, perhaps an aristocratic Muslim family, the Begum, the lady of the house, would want her own private quarters. And this is it, the Begum's Nook.
Raheem Residency was renovated and restored by an architect named Lalichan. While I was there, I came to know that he had recently won an award for the restoration and the architectural work of this ancestral home. This boutique hotel mixes style and substance to great effect. As you walk in and see the before and after photos, you'll know that real passion must have gone into the narration. This ancient bungalow has been restored without losing sight of its historical grandeur and old-world charm. The design of this private home was quite closed. But when it was time to design the boutique hotel, the design concept revolved around opening it all up. Today, as we see it, you have wonderful arched windows that flood the main hall with light, while a simple elegance lingers, keeping the place true to its roots. And it's got all the frills that make for a relaxing holiday, like the Velvet Apple swimming pool, named after the tree which towers over it. It adds a certain charm to this open patio. If you're not up for a swim, then the patio is a perfect spot for a peaceful nap, a quiet read, or for some writer's inspiration.
Oh, you found me! I thought I'd sneak away for some R&R and get started on a book or two while I'm here. Can you blame me? There are books on tables, books at the pool, books on the veranda. There are books everywhere. It was just too tempting. But duty calls, and I must remember that I have a job to do. Well, while we're on the topic of books, the reason that there are so many books here is because Bibi loves literature. Anyway, I saved a little memento to show you. They leave these bookmarks on your pillow, and this